Wow, what a year for good old Spidey. I mean, damn, last year we ate good, and now, well, his name got ran through the gutter. Which is funny because he didn't even show up in any of the stinkers we're looking at today. And besides the incredible Ultimate Spider-Man run by Jonathan Hickman and Marco Checchetto, we still had another lackluster year in Spidey comics. I didn't even realize how bad it was in the comics department until I walked over to the Marvel side of my comic book store to pick up Ultimate Spider-Man, and when I looked over to the main title run, it had 10 back issues for the series, and there were so many copies that they barely fit on the shelf because no one is reading this shit. And to put things into perspective even more, comics come out on a monthly basis, so 10 issues is almost a whole ass year. There's a year's worth of unread Spidey comics just sitting there and nobody wants them. Anyways, the majority of you dudes probably don't read comics and I'm most likely talking gibberish. But you know what we all do indulge in? Movies. And oh boy, did Spidey have some movies this year. Well, kinda. Look, I could have easily made a video about each of these movies coming out this year, from Madame Dweeb, Russian Tarzan, and Venom the Last Shark, but I decided to wait until all of them came out and save myself and you the time and energy because I had a sneaking little suspicion that they would all be horrible. And wow, did they all exceed my expectations, and not in a good way. Madame Doofus was easily not only the worst movie in the Sony Pictures universe of Marvel characters, also known as Spump, not only was it the worst film I've seen from this year, it is genuinely one of the worst big studio films I've ever seen in my life. And I'll be honest, I pirated that shit and I still want my money back. And while that goes for all these movies, I feel like the literal hours I spent torturing myself would have gone to better use passing a kidney stone, which would have been less painful than watching these films, but I will be truthful, it wouldn't be as much fun. Because holy shit, these are probably gonna go down as some of the best bad movies of all time. I think Morbius already cemented its place in cinematic history, and all the other spunk films to follow have only tried to outbest the arrival of Marvel's new legend. And let me tell you, they did. They really fucking did. I mean, I've never seen worse ADR in films ever than with Craven D's Nuts, and mad damn, this movie sucks. And that leads me to one of the biggest problems of these movies. No one talks like real people. Every goddamn line in one of these Spider-Man-less Spider-Man films is pure exposition. I mean, a normal scene of dialogue in Craven basically goes like this. I'm a lawyer, I can't do that. Well, I'm a hunter, and that means I know that you do good work, ever since your grandma taught you how to give people superpowers. Yes, my grandma did teach me how to become a convenient plot device, but she died, and I haven't seen her since. Ooh, since you're a hunter, maybe you can help me find her. Like, I know the easy comparison to make is that these scripts are made by ChatGPT, but nah, I mean, it takes a certain amount of human stupidity to write the kind of dialogue that's in these movies that a computer just can't make up. In fact, the best way I can describe how these movies feel is that a studio executive was on a crunch to find a new Spider-Man project, then caught a really bad fever, fell asleep, had a horror dream about some random character he overheard an intern talking about, woke up in the middle of the night, wrote down his dream, and then the next day handed it to his 12-year-old nephew, who then wrote an outline, and from there some unlucky up-and-coming writer and director were then forced to adhere to that said vision. And well, all I gotta say is that little Tobias Jr. III should not be given any more permission to work in Hollywood now or fucking ever again. But I think the biggest issue with these sets of movies has to be the fact that they all clearly have missing parts. That damn near every movie made in this, franchise, I guess, was supposed to be a completely different movie, and then all of a sudden, parts of the movie were completely cut. Which means you have to film new scenes, which snowballs into making the scenes have a different context, which inevitably leads to more reshoots to fix that issue until you have an entirely different movie than what was originally supposed to get made. Look at all the scenes with the Vulture that were never put into Morbius, or the Spider-Man scenes that were literally made to only market the movie and most likely were never even going to be a part of the film's narrative. Or the fact that there was about 40 minutes of the first Venom movie cut, and speaking of Venom, there was huge rumors that the main plot of The Last Dance was supposed to be about Eddie and Venom heading to New York to find Spider-Man just for him to be a little kid, and then they try to protect him. which leads right into Madam Web, which last second was decided to not be part of this Venom universe, which also had a rumor plotline of Ezekiel trying to kill a baby Peter Parker, and that the objective of that movie was to keep Mary Parker safe. And if you look at all the places where the Ezekiel ADR is placed in that movie, it usually is him talking about the 3 Spider-Girls that end up killing him in the future. Which you know is the main plot of the movie, so why would you have to go back and dub all of that unless it wasn't originally that? But how does this connect to Venom: The Last Dance and Madam Web getting booted out of the critically acclaimed Spunk? Well, my theory is that the brilliant minds behind these hit films shot Venom with a 10-year-old kid who was most likely going to be this little dude, who I can guarantee was supposed to be the same Peter Parker that was a fetus in Madam Web. But then they realized that Madam Web takes place in 2003, and well, if The Last Dance takes place in 2019, the math ain't mathin'. And if you don't believe me, the director of Morbius straight up said that the Spunk universe was going to have their own Spider-Man and that we'd see it soon. On top of us seeing that there was concept art fighting Ezekiel, which how the fuck was that going to play out exactly? Who knows? Well, not only did they prove their incompetence of creating a shared universe, but they also proved that they can't do simple mathematics. So I guess they aren't just employing 12-year-olds to write these scripts, but to head the studio as well. Anyways, you get it. These movies suck ass, there isn't anything else groundbreaking to say, but damn did it feel good to rant about this. And I'm glad Kraven is the last of this universe we will be seeing. But you know what we should all do to clear our minds of this universe? We should rewatch the Raimi trilogy for the 1000th time, pick up some old Spidey comics. You know, you could get the whole original 80-something issue run Stan Lee wrote by buying the first 4 to 5 volumes of Spider-Man Epic Collections. And oh yeah, do yourself a big, huge favor and get to reading the new Ultimate Spider-Man if you haven't already. But before we go, I think after ripping this universe a new asshole, the least we could do is give it a nice, warm send-off. Gone, but truly never forgotten. This is for you, Spunk.
Here's to the ones that we got. Cheers to the wish you were here but you're not. Cause the drinks bring back all the memories of everything we've been through.
Toast to the ones here today. Toast to the ones that we lost on the way. Cause the drinks bring back all the memories. And the memories bring back you.
There's a time that I remember when I did not know no pain. When I believed in forever and everything would stay the same.
Now my heart feels like December when somebody says your name. Cause I can't reach out to call you, but I know I will one day.
Everybody hurts sometimes, everybody hurts someday.
But everything will be alright. Go raise a glass and say,
here's to the ones that we got. Cheers to the wish you were here but you're not. Cause the drinks bring back all the memories of everything we've been through.
toast to the ones here today. Toast to the ones that we lost on the way.
Cause the drinks bring back all the memories, and the memories bring back you.